going offline again. In my field, in the field of technology transfer, our industry recognizes the greatest amount of success is not how much we as administrators can partner people with industry. It's the partnership between our faculty member and the industry scientists. That's what makes it work. Can you comment on that from your experience?
Yeah, I think that is a good metric. That's ultimately, I think it's, I'm thinking, Marty, how do you actually record that? How is that quantitated? What comes to mind are publications, but that's not, I'm sure you can illuminate us as to how you would quantitate it. But yeah, ultimately it is that relationship and the productivity, the efficiencies gained, as opposed to not collaborating, right? The industry and academic lab working along, chugging along at their own pace, you achieve a definite efficiency in your collaboration. So I agree, it is that relationship that's very important. I think, I guess, Marty, you're also opening the door that maybe others can comment on it. It takes, I guess, a certain type of academic investigator willing to truly share data, share bench space, share techniques, and it has to be more than just looking at a research grant and funding, and maybe a publication. And so maybe some of the difficulties that we've all experienced in these collaborations might come because it wasn't truly altruistic. It wasn't truly, for the reasons I said at the beginning, to rigorously advance knowledge, right? It was, I just need money to pad my accounts here at ECU.
So, a couple of thoughts. So, first of all, not all faculty should be allowed to work with industry. There are some people there, very insular.
Right.
A relationship with industry is very much more collaborative than is traditional within academia. Even within a company, you're part of a big team working on a drug or an ag biotech product, and you have lots of support from scientists doing individual technical processes, and you're working with, you may be a project leader and have 3, 4, 5 people working formally for you, but there's another 50 or 100 that are touching your project in one way or another. And because of that, that's how the relationship between industry and academia should be working. You should be having the truly collaborative role, and obviously some faculty, obviously nobody here, but some faculty are probably not willing to do that. So that would be one thought. One other factor is on successful collaborations is identifying where the boundaries are. Where does the academic research and early translation sort of mostly stop, and when does it become primarily a research activity of the industry, and when are they really sort of taking over? And defining those boundaries is probably an important thing to think about early on.
That's a really interesting point, Roy. In our office, we have what we call a product pipeline, where we identify all the different projects that have commercialization potential that we're managing. And then we kind of identify what stage of development they are. Many of our projects are health or medically related, so the pathway is very long and complicated. But the first part of it is the discovery phase, and then it marches along until commercialization. And we color code our pipeline to show people where we are in the development pathway of each one of these projects. And I can tell you that every one of our projects is coded in bright purple in discovery. We are really good at discovery. we have very few of the other steps colored. They're kind of blank because that's not our skill set. So let's talk about